Battle Through the Heavens, Grand World. Chapter 265 Real Control. Kai. As the fire wings flapped, Xiao Yan soared into the sky and easily dodged Li Yin's attack. The latter's punch landed on the ground, causing several cracks to appear on the ground. Diki wings. Li Yin lifted his head and looked over. He could not help but be shocked. He carefully sensed Xiao Yan's current strength. The shock between his brows finally disappeared. This fellow's strength was still at the monarch spirit in the end. Shen Tu lifted the golden spear from the ground with one hand and grinned. His ferocious face became even more terrifying. His palm suddenly moved. The golden spear flashed with a bright light, and a continuous stream of origin monarch ki was injected into it. As the golden light circulated, it seemed to transform into a huge golden python. The huge python raised its head to the sky and hissed. Under Shen Tu's cold shout, in an instant, it shot out, exploding the air along its way. Yuan Tianmu was not afraid at all. He pushed out both of his palms. Endless purple origin monarch ki surged out from his palms, turning into two purple spirit birds. They flapped their wings and flew upwards, fighting with the giant golden python. As they flapped their wings, a purple aura filled the air, continuously devouring the giant golden python. Shen Tu, who was controlling the giant golden python, had a change in expression. He looked at the sky. The fire wings on Xiao Yan's back was flapping. He relied on his great advantage to dodge Li Yin's attacks time and time again. Although the latter could use the wings to temporarily soar into the sky, it consumed a great amount of origin monarch ki. The battle between the two was clearly disadvantageous to Li Yin. This fellow is not even at the level of an emperor, yet he can fly. Could it be that he has borrowed some kind of treasure? A thought flashed across Shen Tu's mind. He grinned, and an endless amount of hostility shot out from his eyes. He looked at Yuan Tianmu with an even colder gaze. If that's the case, I don't mind letting the Yunluo Academy have one less elite warrior. Speaking of which, Yuan Tianmu's head is worth 300 million monarch crystals on the Yunluo's ranking list. If you insist on coming here to die, you will die. Don't blame me. Oh, with just you. Yuan Tianmu was also surprised by Xiao Yan's sudden display of skills. When he heard Shen Tu's words, Yuan Tianmu sneered and stretched out his left hand. Controlling the two purple spirit sparrows, he retracted his right hand. With a slight movement of his 5 fingers, a long spear appeared in his hand. The tip of the spear was spiraling like a dragon. It was engraved with profound patterns and was filled with mysterious power. Swoosh! Yuan Tianmu held the spear in his right hand and the origin monarch ki in his palm rotated. The tip of the spear suddenly buzzed and a faint dragon roar sounded. The entire spear seemed to be alive. Dragon scale tip, dragon's roar. Yuan Tianmu suddenly withdrew his left hand. The two purple spirit sparrows that had been fighting with the giant golden python suddenly let out a buzzing sound, and exploded. The giant golden python roared in pain, and the golden scales on its body cracked inch by inch. Golden blood scattered in all directions, and black death ki was emitted from the golden blood, as if it could corrode the space. The instant the purple spirit sparrows exploded, Yuan Tianmu suddenly grabbed the spear with both hands. A faintly discernible dragon roar was heard all of a sudden. Purple ki was surging on the tip of the spear. And it was filled with endless evil ki. It surged towards Shen Tu. Kai. Xiao Yan waved the blue flame ruler in his hand, and it easily blocked Li Yin's profound ice attack. Lightning rolled on the blue flame ruler, and it turned into a prison that rushed out with a buzzing sound. Li Yin had already witnessed the power of the Thunder Dragon prison domain. Immediately, his facial expression changed drastically, and he hastily retreated. The Thunder Dragon prison domain brushed past him, and he was sent flying away with a pale face. Xiao Yan's face turned pale when he used the Monarch skill once again. The Thunder Dragon prison domain was a genuine Monarch spell. Although the Monarch skill of a divine weapon rarely consumed origin Monarch ki, it was still a genuine Monarch spell. However, in this short period of time, Xiao Yan had consumed a lot of origin Monarch ki in order to maintain the fire wings on his back. After forcing Li Yin back, Xiao Yan's eyes moved. He looked at Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu, who were not far away. The battle between Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu had become even more intense. As the long spear swept across the battlefield, a wave of purple ki reverberated in the air. Shen Tu, who was holding the golden long spear, was also closing in on them. He waved the long spear violently. The golden light kept flashing, resisting the corrosion of the purple key. Every time the spear and the spear collided, it would bring along a deafening sound of metal colliding. Intense sound waves spread out, causing the huge rocks in the distance to quietly split apart. Looking at the blue flame ruler in his hand, Xiao Yan smiled helplessly. It was because his strength was too weak, and he was unable to unleash the true strength of a heavenly weapon. Otherwise, he could easily defeat Li Yin with just the blue flame ruler alone. Golden python form. It collided violently with Yuan Tianmu. Shen Tu's face darkened. The golden spear in his hand suddenly drew a strange arc in the air. A golden light radiated from the spear and condensed into a huge golden python that was 1,000 feet in size. The scales on the body of the golden python were flashing with a strange spiritual light, as if they were illuminating the heaven and earth. Like a flood dragon, the tail of the python swung lightly and roared as it charged towards Yuan Tianmu. Yuan Tianmu's face was pale. After fighting Shen Tu for a while, he had consumed a lot of his energy. After all, the latter was an expert who had advanced to the monarch emperor. Although he had lost, his strength was far beyond that of an ordinary emperor. If he could defeat Li Yin with ease, it would be difficult for him to defeat Shen Tu. Dragon scale tip, dragon roar. Yuan Tianmu's expression changed slightly when he saw the huge golden python covering the sky as it approached. He did not dare to hold back. He suddenly bit the tip of his tongue. At the same time as he spat out his essence blood, the dragon scale tip in his hand surged with purple ki. He unleashed his most powerful attack. Xiao Yan was shocked by the powerful ki emitted by the two of them during the battle. He clicked his tongue and praised in his heart. A battle of this level was indeed incomparably powerful. You still have the mood to look elsewhere. Just as Xiao Yan was slightly stunned, Li Yin once again rushed over. Cold air covered both of his palms, freezing the air. Xiao Yan looked at Li Yin and narrowed his eyes. When he saw the fight between Yuan Tianmu and Shen Tu just now, both of them had unleashed the full power of the spirit weapon. That feeling of being able to use it freely was quietly reverberating in Xiao Yan's mind at this moment. Ever since the blue flame ruler had advanced to the heavenly weapon realm, it seemed like he had not resonated with it for a long time. Xiao Yan clenched the blue flame ruler tightly in his hand. Even though Li Yin had already forced his way in front of him, Xiao Yan still stood there without moving. He carefully felt the trace of feeling that the blue flame ruler had transmitted from his palm. It was as though it had merged into his heart, deep and deep. I seem to have felt it. The moment Li Yin's palm struck Xiao Yan's chest, Xiao Yan's eyes slightly narrowed and suddenly opened. His originally confused eyes had now regained their clarity. The original him, who was holding the blue flame ruler of a heavenly weapon, had only regarded it as a powerful weapon. The true strength of a heavenly weapon was far from being unleashed. But now, the feeling of flowing water was reverberating in his heart. It was as if the blue flame ruler had been truly grasped by him. The power of a heavenly weapon. Xiao Yan clenched the blue flame ruler tightly with his 5 fingers. His eyes looked at Li Yin in front of him. Suddenly, he laughed. His eyes were filled with energy. After which, he moved his arm gently. The blue flame ruler had already been waved. The wide ruler swept across the space, causing the wind to whistle. Bang! The connection between the blue flame ruler and him was like a layer of paper that had been torn open. The feeling of his soul being connected caused Xiao Yan to feel the rhythm of the blue flame ruler for the first time. It was the rhythm of a weapon. 8-directional thunder ruler. Xiao Yan shouted. For the first time, he did not borrow the strength of the 3000 lightning monarch flame. He relied entirely on the memory function of the blue flame ruler to display it. He waved the huge ruler, and it shook the heavens and the earth. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.